When I was 18 years old, I moved out of my parents' house. And between a few different places, I've spent a combined $22,860 on rent the last few years. That's a lot of money I'm literally setting on fire and saying goodbye to. And as much as people like Grant Cardone, aka Dumb Shit McGee say,
a house is one of the dumbest, worst investments a human being could possibly make.
Multiple studies have found that homeownership remains the primary driver of household wealth, and many millionaires are made by investing in real estate. So I began the process of seeking mortgage pre-approval by submitting 2 years of tax returns, along with allowing these mortgage brokers to run my credit. Getting approved for a home loan is a bit more difficult for those of us who are self-employed.
Entrepreneurship.
Especially since we like to write off as many things as possible to reduce our income.
So what if I don't know how to spell entrepreneur? You know what I do know how to spell? Tesla.
But luckily, I was approved for an FHA loan of up to $330,000, where I only need to put as little as 3.5% down. Now, depending on the property I buy and how much work it needs, I may put a much larger down payment, as close to that 20% level as possible to get rid of PMI. PMI is an insurance fee you pay to the bank in case you foreclose on your loan. I'm looking at properties in the Milwaukee, Wisconsin area, which has a lot of homes in my budget. From as low as $5,000 to in the millions, Milwaukee is one of America's most segregated cities, going from the nicest areas with beautiful homes to some of the trashiest areas with crime-ridden streets within minutes.
The search is on for a suspect wanted in a homicide at a Milwaukee gas station. The suspect is a boy pretty young here, between 14 and 18 years old.
Police say kids were recklessly driving a stolen car near Morse Middle School, then slammed into a school bus and several other cars.
Living amongst crime is just a way of life in pretty much any medium to large city, but especially in Milwaukee. A major wish list item on a property I buy is to stay away from the hood, which is this area up here and most of this area down here. I also ideally want to stay within 10 minutes of downtown since I love my big buildings, and I'm also looking for a property that isn't fully move-in ready. I would love to do some work myself and not just have a perfect property right out the gate, since that's not usually how you get the best deal. But I'm personally looking for a single family home that I can both live in and house hack. As per FHA regulations, you have to live in the property for a minimum of 1 year before you can rent it out, and by house hacking, aka renting out 1, 2, or 3 of the extra bedrooms to friends, I can offset my mortgage payment and live extremely cheap, or if I do it right, live completely for free. House hacking is the best way to get into real estate as a beginner, and after a year or two of doing that, I plan to turn this property into a long-term rental, so projected cash flow once I rent it out is very important on a property I buy. I then contacted a local realtor and we scheduled a day to look at some properties. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now the next day. We're filming on the iPhone today to keep it discreet, but from 9:30 a.m. this morning up until about noon, we're going to be looking at a few different properties for me to potentially buy. All the houses we're going to be looking at are around the $200,000 price range, but with interest rates so high, that's still a payment of around $2,000 per month. So I'm going to be meeting up with the real estate agent very shortly, and this first property we're going to be taking a look at is about 15 minutes from downtown, which kind of sucks, and it's located in southwestern Milwaukee. This is the neighborhood where the first house is located. We've got a nice little baseball field area. It looks like a really nice neighborhood, honestly. All right, so the property is right here. It's a small little house. I believe it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. In Milwaukee, a lot of the older homes only have 1 bathroom, so this one actually has 2, which is kind of nice. We're gonna be taking a look at it in probably 10 or so minutes. I ended up showing up a little bit early. Hello.
Hey, how are we doing?
Good, good. Good to see you.
This is actually such a nice little neighborhood.
Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I don't think I've been here.
So have you looked at houses before? Or is
This is the first time I've ever gone and looked at them. I mean, I've obviously looked a little bit at some places on Redfin and stuff. But yeah, wow, it looks nice. This 1,400 square foot Cape Cod features 2 stories, a partially finished basement, and a 2-car garage outside. The property was almost perfect, move-in ready, and listed at $224,900. It's about on par with other sold homes in the area. I'm currently in this first house right now, and it honestly looks pretty nice, guys. I just took a walk through. There's really not a whole bunch you'd need to do. It even has an upstairs where 1 bedroom's located. I could make that like the YouTube studio. It has a basement, kitchen area. It's just not in a location that I'd personally want to live, which is not a deal breaker, but the location just isn't as desirable as other parts of Milwaukee with a bunch of fun things to do. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at the next house. But as we drive to house number 2, I want to tell you guys how I'm personally already in the home buying process at 20 years old. My 15th video ever on this channel was how I plan to become a
millionaire from real estate investing in a short amount of time.
Definitely don't watch it, it's super cringe. But between that video and a comment I left on Graham Stephan's channel, my goal back then was to buy my first house at age 18. But I quickly realized it's not that easy. Number one, you need the physical money to put down in a house, and at that time I had around $20,000, but most of it was in stocks and not cash. Number two, you need 2 years of tax returns if you're self-employed to show you can consistently make a profit with your business and actually pay the mortgage payment. And most importantly, you need a good credit score. Now, funny thing about me is I personally don't use credit cards. People always comment on my videos saying, oh, good luck buying a house, good luck getting a car loan, which I'd never get a car loan anyway because that's crap. I personally build credit with a debit card. You heard that correctly, a
debit card.
And that's possible with this channel's sponsor, Fizz. It essentially works by giving you a limit based on how much money you actually have in your account. And instead of getting a fat credit card bill at the end of the month, Fizz has daily auto pay so you don't have to worry about overspending. On that note, guys, we've made it to the second house, and it definitely doesn't look as pretty as the first one. But while we wait for the realtor, be sure to check out Fizz at the top link down below. The first 1,000 of you guys who sign up get a $10 bonus, and you keep on getting rewards as you continue to use the card. So Fizz has literally all the benefits of a credit card without the risk. Be sure to check them out at the top link below. I literally use them myself every single day. And with that being said, guys, we're about to check out this property.
Hello. Doing a showing? Did you know about it? Okay, cool.
The landlord of this property currently had a tenant in the house who was a little creepy. But moving past that and looking inside the house, it was pretty nice. Although it was pretty dark on the interior, it had a larger kitchen, a backyard with no garage, and a total of 4 bedrooms. As a newbie real estate investor, it's kind of hard for me to look past all the junk in someone's house and envision it completely empty. But I can already tell you guys, between this house being really dark and also in not the best location, I think this one's definitely a pass. We just finished looking at house number 2. They had a tenant in that house, and that guy definitely did not want to move since he was very creepily following us around, and that house had a bunch of random ass stuff in it. Overall, I don't think that one's the move, especially for my first place. So we're gonna look at this next one. I'm following the real estate agent once again. When we made it to house number 3, I was really excited looking from the outside, but once we made it to the inside, the agent mentioned it was a flip.
This is a flip.
Oh wow, this is a flip?
Yeah, this is 100% flip.
Oh, this is a room? I don't know if this counts as a room.
Flips aren't usually the best houses to buy since somebody already renovated the cheaper stuff to fix and made the appreciation on the property versus me doing it.
Is this newer or is this older?
I know it's looking for furnace and for marketing.
Okay. Yeah, they did a lot.
I think it's priced too high though.
So once again, I decided to pass. The 4th house we looked at was alright, except for the busy street noise in the backyard.
I mean, it is going out on the highway.
I'm not a fan of that whatsoever. But the final house for the day was bright blue from the outside. Not my favorite, but that's an easy fix, and the inside also needed a decent amount of work.
Definitely smells like pets. Carpets probably need to go. Oh wow, the basement's like kind of finished. It's kind of like a attic. Yeah, it's kind of like a loft attic type thing.
So just to finish that,
This is kind of sick.
with the toilet.
Oh, is it cooked up?
The first day of house shopping was pretty successful. The first house we looked at was definitely my favorite, but after looking at houses, I went on a trip for a video the next day and didn't make an offer, so it got scooped up pretty quick. But now that I looked at houses, I took about a week to figure out in exactly what location I want to buy a house, and I narrowed down to an area right outside of downtown Milwaukee called Bayview. It's a walkable, trendy area with the only issue being it's pretty expensive. But luckily, I was able to find a smaller property within my budget listed at $225,000 featuring 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom.
Start with the basement. I like this spot. Oh, they got a bar. And they got a washer dryer.
This is a little older, 21 years old.
Oh, that's as old as me almost.
I mean, my furnace was 35 when it died.
Yeah, same with this. This is also 20 years old.
I think it's probably my favorite house so far, just because it's in a good spot too.
I ended up placing an offer on the house for full price, and within a few days, it got approved. Full transparency, I did look at a few more houses between the one I ended up buying, and although some of them were nicer than the one I ended up buying, I absolutely fell in love with the location, and I'm excited to move in soon. I just had an inspection done, and the appraisal came back evaluating the home at $261,000, but it definitely needs some work from the garage being in rough shape to both the water heater and furnace being relatively old. I'm expected to close on this property at the end of August, and fingers crossed once I pay it off in 2 to 3 years, I'm gonna rent it out for around $2,000 a month based on the market research I've done for homes in the area. I'm gonna keep you guys updated throughout the journey of moving into this property, doing some renovations, paying it off, and eventually renting it out, so stay tuned. And with that being said, if you guys want to learn how I built credit to buy this house without any debt, check out the sponsor Fizz at the top link down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out.